You know that racism in our future kids can only let you know good. Besides your sons and daughters already know how that feels. One day, all the crews will gather around, spreading love and unity so it can be found. But then the blue riders say something to do with drugs, well, injecting me with your love. And just be with the love, alright. And the riders will not stop us, 'cause the only drug they'll find is paradise. No, the riders will not stop us, 'cause the only love they'll find is paradise. No, the riders will not stop us, the only love they'll find is paradise. Love paradise. Morning and night is gonna make you feel good. Coming at you like a hurricane word. Stick close to me, I'll always be by your side. Stay with me, know that's alright. Remind me of a girl I knew.
Hello, and on this segment of Outdoor Variety, we are in the Guadalupe River, God's country indeed. Steve Kaufman, our guide of Guadalupe Trout Outfitters, and I've just caught what is, without a doubt, the biggest trout of my life. I'm going to set this down here and show you what I'm using in just a second. As we know, these fish, for the greater part, were washed out after our extended flood here. The Canyon Dam, operated by the who is it? Corps of Engineers, Steve?
Yeah.
Corps Engineers flowed at 5,000 cubic feet a second for well over 3 weeks. It was rumored that most of the fish were gone. There weren't any reported to my knowledge for several months. But what we have got here, by God, is a Guadalupe trout that is enough to make anybody jealous. This was my 31st fish of the day. I caught 29 of them on a Johnny Travis treble. Johnny Travis out of Atlanta, Georgia, read one of my articles at wildtexas.com and responded. He sent me some of these down. I'll show them to you in a second. But again, let's get a shot of this one released back into the wild. Dramatic. An awesome creature.
You're gonna make it. That's it. You're gonna make it. This is a typical Panther Martin blade, which you got the conical shape to it with a bend in the blade, which gives it a real strong vibrating motion when it's just tumbling in the current. This is bell brass. Excellent, excellent for this kind of water.
With your love, fix me with your love, alright. And the riders will not stop us, 'cause the only love they'll find is paradise. No, the riders will not stop us, 'cause the only drug they'll find is paradise.
Hi, my name is Frank Roman, and I, together with my wife Joy, began doing fish taxidermy back in 1973. Well, the replicas that were available to us as taxidermists were rather crude those days, we felt. And I started developing what I would consider a replica more on the cutting edge, what they call state-of-the-art. We wanted something so real looking that when you looked at it, you would not believe it isn't real. They couldn't bring out the mouth detail inside the mouth or gill detail, and so it was rather crude. It worked pretty good for big fish like maybe sailfish, marlin, sharks, so forth, but for inland fish especially, it just wasn't there. I believe we were absolutely the first people to have gills right into the fish where you can look in and see gills, where the gills are spread. You can look down in the mouth and you see gill rakers. And I'm pretty sure we were the first ones, because when we first went to taxidermy shows, we had all the other taxidermists oohing and ahhing. Well, not only did we do it for our customers around, but other taxidermists began asking us for it. And before too long, we were shipping them out to other taxidermists throughout Texas. From a one-person operation that began making these replicas, now we have several people making those. Actually, we have a little factory that are making these, and now we ship them out to other taxidermists throughout the United States.
All over the United States and probably all over the world, catch and release has become a very important part of saving a resource. And we wanted to be part of that too. And we wanted to still be able to provide people with a really lifelike looking replica that would encourage people actually to release a fish.
All right, when I first get the replica, this is a trout, rainbow trout in this case. The first thing I need to do is roughly trim it out, detach the side fins. These fish trim out quite nicely. You can see how thin the fin material is. I'm going to roughly trim it so I can balance it. Okay, I'm ready to balance it and put a hanger in it. All right, now that the hanger's on it, the procedure is just to go ahead and do the fine trimming, which basically requires a sharp knife. That's pretty much all the trimming that's required with a scissors and knife. From here, it's going to be the use of a power rotary tool to finish up the trimming of the seams. From here, I can do a couple of different things. There's areas where we can notch in scales. On this one, I'm going to do mostly, we use some filler that it's a two-part putty that we use quite extensively. I'll be filling in around the gill areas in the throat and along the seams. Okay, I've worked the eye sockets out a little bit to clean them out to fit what we call a flex eye. It's a beautiful eye. I'll be showing you that here in just a second. I'm going to fill the eye hole with just a little bit of that putty. Just set that right in there. From here, it's just a little bit more detailing, and he'll be ready to paint.
Tell me about Parks and Wildlife's mission here.
Well, what we're trying to do in this 9-mile section of the river is create a trophy trout fishery. We've got two different types of fisheries here on the river. One is a put-and-take fishery where the fish are put in, the fishermen take them out right away. There's no minimum size limit, 5-fish daily bag limit. In the trophy trout section, what we're trying to do is grow bigger trout, give anglers another angling opportunity. And in that section of the river, there's an 18-inch minimum 1-fish daily bag limit. There's also a bait type restriction in that you can only retain a trout if it's caught on an artificial lure. This section of the river is unique and really in Texas just because the water coming from Canyon Lake stays cold pretty much year-round. Trout require water temperatures of about 77 degrees or below, and normally the water coming from canyons stays about 65 or below as it's released from the dam at the hydropower plant. So because of that, we can have a trophy regulation. We've got good growth, and we've got the habitat being the cold water type of habitat, and also the habitat in the river itself for the fish to live and prosper.
Trout Unlimited national mission is to protect cold water species and their habitat. Our local chapter, the Guadalupe River Trout Unlimited, which is the local Texas chapter of Trout Unlimited, our mission is we are dedicated to the Guadalupe River. We have had a stocking program in the river for almost 20 years and will continue to do so. We're dedicated to this river and trying to help build the fishery. That gives us the opportunity to try to build a quality trout fishing experience. We help support the fingerling raising program, but we provide the dollars to buy the food for the fingerling raising program.
We release trout at another place called Whitewater Sports, which is right at Highway 306. And the dam and Whitewater are in the put and take zone. There's no special regulations. It's just a 5-fish minimum bag limit, no minimum size limit. The other two places we release fish are Rio Raft, which is right at the 4th crossing in Sattler, and Camp Beans, which is down at the 3rd crossing. The goal of the program is kind of twofold on this river, in that with the put and take fishery, we're just trying to give the anglers to catch a fish that they normally wouldn't catch in Texas. We're trying to give anglers the opportunity to catch that big fish, or maybe that fish of a lifetime, where they wouldn't have the opportunity to get unless they went to another state. We found evidence of some reproduction of rainbow trout in 1993 and 1994, and we feel like, yeah, there is some reproduction going on down here, but really it probably won't, in the long run, it probably won't be significant. This fishery will probably always have to exist with some type of stocking program.
As I said, once they're in the river, then they're the public's, the fish belong to the public and can be enjoyed by the public.
I just wanted to ask people if they catch any big fish during the summer months, especially in August and September, to contact us at our office and let us know about it. Our phone number is 512-353-0072, and we'd be real interested in any trout or big trout they catch during the latter part of the summer, August and September, and specifically, where they caught them and how big they were. So, if you could give us that type of information, we could certainly use it.
When your love, just be with the love, all right.
Okay, here I finally put the final coat of clear coat on it, and it looks just as fresh as the day it came out of the river, and that's a Guadalupe trout.
Love paradise. One and all is gonna make you feel good. Coming at you like a hurricane would. Stick close to me, I'll always be by your side. Stay with me, that's alright. Remind me of a girl I knew. Love so beautiful once inside. You make me feel like I need your love, love, love. Well, the fish man with your love. Fix me with your love, alright. And the riders will not stop us. It's the only love they'll find is paradise. No, the riders will not stop us. It's the only love they'll find is paradise. Oh, paradise. Riders will not stop us. 'Cause the only love they'll find is paradise. Oh, paradise. And one day I'll make you feel surely like you've never felt before. I'll give myself to you, and if you change your mind, I'll do anything just to make the world peaceful, just to make life one